A very good evening and welcome to the hotspot. Yet again, we are back. The Friday evening edition is one, honestly, this is one of my favorite shows. And guys, I'm glad you're here with me. Friday is a good day when you talk sport. Now, guys, I've got news for you. Amrabat could be coming. I'll tell you why. But also, well, what's stalling Andre Onana's Here We Go? We'll get to talk briefly about that. We also get to talk about Mason Greenwood, who is seeming to have the last laugh over Manchester United. Welcome to the Hotspot. Subscribe. Let's get into it. Now, guys, on a Friday like this, on a Saturday, I told you don't expect me to look so serious. Well, with my collar up, I feel like I'm 15 right now. Yeah, it feels good to feel younger. But just because the average age of most of our viewers is 30 plus, let me keep it decent. Yeah, there you go. I think that's better. Now let's get into it, guys. Sofian Amrabat could be joining Manchester United. Why? Because United seem to have figured out the plan to sell some of its players so that they raise funds to be able to finance the purchase of Sofian Amrabat. Now, according to what we are getting now, they are serious plans to sell Fred. I think that one we know after seeing the fact that United went on and played without him in that friendly against Leeds United. Probably they are trying not to risk him getting injured so that they can sell him, because you can't sell a sick player, an injured player. So I think that was a sign that Manchester United are serious about selling him. So that's why he was left out of that game against Leeds United. So Fred is one player who is wanted by several clubs. Saudi Arabia is among those topping. I do hope he goes to Saudi because of all the clubs that want him. It's Saudi that can pay the money or close to the money we value the player at. There is Fulham who are interested in him. We've got Turkish clubs also being linked with him. So he's wanted. About four clubs want him. And of course, it will be up to him and the club to decide where he goes. But I do hope they do sell him to Saudi Arabia, because it would be good for him. Probably that would be the best place for him in terms of money. I think Saudi would give him the closest to what he earns at Manchester United, £120,000 per week. Now, so Fred can get in a cool £50 million for United. Now, on top of Fred, you know that Elanga is wanted by Everton. Elanga is a player that can get us another £15 million. That's already £30 million, which is just enough for us to finance the purchase of Sofian Amrabat. Remember, we are at a sell to buy situation. As we look now, it seems United is seriously in a state of you have to sell in order to buy players. So that is why it's so important that United go on and make the right deals and sell players to the right buyer, because again, the best buyer, I think, the right buyer for United, I think, for all players we want to let go of, is always going to be a club from Saudi, because they are the only clubs who will see value in most of our rejects. Yes, I think any club in Saudi Arabia will see value in Harry Maguire. Of course, they will not value him the way United are valuing him, £50 million, but they will give you something reasonable compared to any other club in Europe. That's a fact. So I think the best place to sell most of these players we want out should be Saudi Arabia. Of course, some of the players may not want to go there, but I probably think United should be standing their ground and saying, guys, we need money. So if you've got the heart for the club, you shouldn't care about where we are selling you. Just go so that we make money to be able to sign proper players. For me, that's one. So United can raise the 30 million. Now, if that happened, remember, we seem to have the money to finance the purchase of Onana. Mason Mount was done. We seem to be struggling to get enough to be able to convince Atalanta to give us Rasmus Højlund. That's why I think we are going back and forth with the reports of the bids and all. I do still believe we will get him. Probably we'll find the money. But if we sold two players, get some extra cash to top onto top onto Rasmus Højlund, Amrabat would cost up to 20 to 25 million pounds. Now that's money we can get from two players, but remain with some excess if we sell two players for 15. So you feel we can add that onto Rasmus Højlund, and guys, this is where Man United is now. We've got to be able to do a lot of mathematics if we are going to sign players. But yeah, that's where we are. We'll dance to the tune of the situation. Now, for me, I think it's very possible that we do sign Sofian Amrabat. The will is there. We are serious. We know the price. It's not shocking. He's not overpriced. I think 20 to 25 million quid is money United can raise if the John Matters of this world are serious about selling players. They should be vending players to Saudi Arabia as early as yesterday. But it seems things are happening slowly. It's a slow pace, but it looks like things are happening, and United could be able to sell so that we go on and purchase a backup for Casemiro, who is a very important signing in this window. For me, success in this summer would be signing a striker and a backup for Casemiro. And of course, now, because of the problem we created for ourselves, the goalkeeper, and of course, that's Andre Onana, who will be done very soon. So that's why we are. But also remember, besides Fred and Anthony Langa, who are edging out, we do know as well that Scott McTominay has attracted the interest of West Ham United, and West Ham do have the money, and you feel Scott McTominay will straight fit into the West Ham United team. I think David Moyes would be happy to have Scott McTominay, who will be a proper starter, and that would be a game-changing deal for him. I think a career-changing deal for him, because West Ham is a London club. It's a top club. It's decent. It's not your Man United or Man City or Arsenal, but it's a top club, a respected club. So you feel Scott McTominay to West Ham United can even have a chance. He's 26, can have a chance to play football and rejuvenate his career, and maybe attract a bigger price. I think a bigger fee. After a year or two, a season or two. So you feel it would be a good move for him, and I should be thinking about it. But West Ham United are interested in him. They have money from Arsenal, from Declan Rice, so they can buy him for about 25 or 30 million, thereabout. I think that's the most, I believe, to be honest. He's worth all at most 30 million. Of course, the initial valuation we got from the club in leaks that we got was about 40 million, which I thought was quite on the higher side, because I mean, what is there to guarantee to warrant him deserving net price tag of 40 million? There is nothing. But and again, when you think about it, if United can rate of value Harry Maguire at 50 million, then perhaps Scott McTominay 40 is even, you know, an under price. It's even low. Probably should be 80 million, because by far McTominay has been, he should be bit more valuable than Harry Maguire in terms of age, but even the little contribution they have both had to United in the past season. But that's where we are. The reality is we can't actually go on and sign Sofian Amrabat. If we do sell players, I think we can actually sign him, and I do believe we are going to sell players. I think we are serious. We are only looking for the right moment and the right club that will come in and bring in the right offer for us to be able to sell the players, to cash in. Then of course, Andre Onana. Well, guys, the haircut, my Onana haircut is not, I mean, being put to use. Of course, let no one lie to you what is holding the situation now, what is holding the talks. Of course, what we know is that the talks are still going on, but I do still wonder why up to now we haven't got the here we go for Andre Onana. I'm still hoping it does happen before close of business tonight, and I'll be here to give it to you, and it does. But you get a sense that Manchester United has got to move fast in terms of seeding Onana, so that we move on to the other departments we need to sort, and more so given the fact that we need to be selling players if you are going to buy more. So yes, but of course what we know is that a verbal agreement was reached between the two parties, and it's the structure of the deal that is taking long, because United agreed verbally with Inter Milan that we'll be paying 50 million euros plus 5 million in add-ons, which is decent enough. So the structure is what is happening, is delaying the whole process. They had conference calls and physical meetings and stuff, but we are waiting for the outcome. So let's even not dwell so much on that. It's almost now becoming like the takeover situation with United. We do hope it doesn't drag on for so long. Rasmus Højlund, well, the bid will be tabled, but I think before we even focus a lot on Rasmus Højlund, it's a matter of us now getting Onana over and done with, so that we now concentrate on the next department that we've got to sort as a club. But the reality is there is a high chance that we'll get most of the players we want, and it might not be in the right time. It might not look the right time for you as a supporter out there, but we can actually do go on and sign them. Now there is also another one that came out earlier on today concerning, of course, Mason Greenwood, who I think the girlfriend did give birth, and he posted a picture on his Instagram with of fingers or hands of him, I think the girlfriend and the baby. And I'm thinking, guys, well, isn't he having the last laugh? So Man United are trapped in investigations. To investigate what? This guy is back with the same girlfriend who was who wanted to sue him. They're having their first baby. They're getting married And you're thinking, when he is a free man, he was acquitted of all charges, and Man United are still trying so hard to try reason, to find reason for him not to come back. You know, how terrible can these Glazers be? I mean, even in their departure, that's if they're even going to sell the club, but even in departure, they are still trying to mess one more thing. It's probably painful. It's too painful to see. But those are the owners of this club. But Mason Greenwood is a free man. He's technically free to go on and play for Manchester United. He's contracted till 2025. He's a father now. He can't be worrying about his contract and his playing time when he has now got a family to deal with. These are issues that can actually affect his mental health. We listened to if you watched that interview with Dele Alli talking to Gary Neville on the overlap, talking about his issues that affected his mental health and stuff. I'm feeling that the situation that Mason Greenwood is in now can actually affect his mental health and probably can have a lasting impact on his career going forward. So this is a time when I believe even the people out there would have some level of sympathy towards him. So I think the fans would welcome him. We cannot be dragging. I don't know why on earth Manchester United, for some reason, we feel like we've got, control over time, that exclusivity. We either don't have the urgency for time, and I think that's the worst thing you can be. You need to do everything you do on timelines, guys. And this is even a life lesson. If there's one life lesson you can take from the hotspot, let this be it. Everything you do in life, if you're going to succeed and progress, you've got to set timelines. You cannot do things at your own pace. The world will not wait for you. I feel like Manchester United, with the way from the Glazers are handling the takeover, think about how we've handled the Onana transfer, think about Rasmus Højlund and all these players, now the Mason Greenwood situation, we feel like we're entitled to all the time, that we have all the time in the world, but for some reason that clock never stops ticking. That's the thing about life, and that's the reality. You cannot be there resting on your laurels and taking your time, and you think things will fall in place at your time. You've got to be to set timelines and beat them. If you fail, you review why you failed, go ahead and adjust, but work on timelines. Well, we do hope the Glazers and the commercial department of Manchester have got timelines under which they want to finalize this whole Mason Greenwood situation, because if it's not now when the preseason is going on, then when the boy is back training, trying to gain his fitness, he's uncertain of his future. What on earth are you thinking? He's now a dad. That's a disaster. But that's where we are as Manchester United. Well, just to sum it up, of course, with the sad news of Man United being fined, we've been fined about 300,000 euros. Of course, not a lot of money for a club like Manchester United, but this has been for us mishandling, I think, certain things to do with financial fair play. I told you before how the financial fair play man would knock at the end of the last month, and well, when he came and did his research, I think he found United at fault for breaching certain key clauses in terms of financial fair play. So we have been fined, but I don't think it's fine. I think that shows how poor we are managed, because if teams like Manchester City, Chelsea are not being fined, yet these are the clubs we see doing a lot of business in these windows, it means they know what they are doing, and this is what we've been saying. Maybe the John Matters do not know what to do. Financial fair play cannot be affecting only Manchester United. We are not even the club doing the most business. It means probably the people handling it do not know what they are doing, and again, that shows you the incompetence of the people that are running the club. So probably when Sheikh Jassim comes in, he knows his job is cut out. He knows what he needs to do first to clear the people at the helm of the club, so that we do things the right way. This is the Hot Spot. My name is Webb. Subscribe. It's the Friday edition, and it is still on another day. It will happen. I still keep the faith. Don't you move a muscle.